Hello everyone, this is Joseph Adunya Kasai. Thank you very much for joining AIB.com. Today we'll see the chapter 5 of SQL Server Database Administration and Development. Last time we saw how can we create a database, create a table, create columns, specify properties of column, and we saw how can we create keys like primary key and foreign key, and we saw how can we create a database diagram that is important to create a relationship between tables. As you remember earlier, we create a student information table in the database, and then we create these different tables and we create a relationship between them. In addition to this, we insert some sample data. For example, for course, we insert this data, and then for student, we already added this data. Today we'll see how can we retrieve data back from the database. That's actually the other objective of SQL Server, database administration and development. You have to create first a database, create a table, and then you have to insert the data into it and retrieve it back. And in this stream today we'll see how can we use a script to retrieve data back, and we'll see this with example. The first thing that we'll see is how can we create, how can we select a given record from the table. For example, how can we select all instructor from instructor table. Just for this reason, what I can do is I will show you how can we start using this SQL Server Management Studio. What you should do is first you have to be in the database. Just you can be in the database and then click on this new query. That is the query that we are using. If you cannot see this student info database, what you should do is you have to use this keyword, use, and then student info. That is actually the database, and then execute. Automatically when you execute this, you will see your database name at the top, and that's the first thing that you should do. You have to just be sure that you are in the database, otherwise when you execute your query you will not get the correct result. And now let me see how can we, for example, select all instructor from instructor table. It's simple. What it says is select all. All in our, in SQL Server is represented with asterisk. So what you should do is select all from instructor. When you do this and execute, you will see all the instructor information like this. So it is very simple. What you should do is select all from instructor, and you will see this result. The second question is select all instructor where their name starts with E. Okay, this is actually the common question that comes in when you are applying for a job. How can you select a given name that starts with a given character? So in our case, how can we select instructor that has his or her name starts with a letter E? So what you should do is first you have to select all from instructor, and you have to specify the condition. That condition is where instructor name, instructor first name actually, like it says starts with E. We have to use the character that we are asked, and then you have to use a percentage symbol. That means whatever name that starts with E, and it can be finished with anything like Iskander, like we can say Edward, and then we have to specify like this, and then select this, run it. You will see the names of instructors that starts with E. Let me expand this question. What if they ask what if we are asked to create query to select instructor where instructor name ends with H? This one is start with E. How can we write query that ends with H? Simply just copy and paste this one, and then what you should do is index means it can start with anything, that is a percentage symbol, and then just add H at the end. And then if you run this one, you will see Joseph is the instructor that has H at the end. So this is the way how can we do that. The other thing is, let me just expand this one. What if we need any instructor name that has L in their name? What you should do is percentage. That means it can start with anything, it can end with anything, but it should have L in the middle, and then you have to just select. And this is a way how can you select this. Sabla, for example, is the name of the instructor that has L within the middle of the character. If we select all instructor, or if we select all and see only Sabla has L in the middle, and we have been asked that to display instructor name, that instructor name has L character on it. And the third question is, how can we select all students where age is 32 and first name starts with A? That's a very simple question. It says that select all students where age is greater than 32 and first name starts with A. To do that, what you should do is, first you have to select all from student where age is greater than 32, and you have to use AND keyword. Okay, age is greater than 32, and the question says and first name starts with A. So what you should do is student first name like A, and if you do like this, that means we have to select all students where age is greater than 32 and a student name like A. Now when we run, say Alex is a student name, and then the age is greater than 32, and that is 33. So this is the query that we should use a where clause with AND. We can use a where clause with OR. We can use a where clause with, for example, if we just say this one, that means we are selecting any student that age is greater than 32 or their name starts with A. That means any student that is greater than 32 plus any student that has the name starts with A will be displayed out. As you can see here, Alex starts with A, Asrat starts with A. So because of their name, these two people are listed out, and the rest are, for example, take Alex, Dasta, and Helen, as well as Mac. Their name, their age is greater than 32. So this is the way how can we write this script. So this is the select statement with using a where clause and a keyword. The other one is select from students where age is between 32 and 34. Actually, we'll see the between keyword later on, but for the sake of this question, I will just explain like this. What the question says is that select all students from students where age is between 32 and 34. By the way, the entire thing, if you just copy and remove out is, will work. And let me show you how can you do that. As you can, when you come here, just simply select all from student where age, instead of is, we have to use between. Between is a keyword. So what you should do is 32 and 34. That is a very simple query. So you can select this, and then when you just execute, you will see the result. This one says that the age is between 34 and 32, and 32 and 33 are between these two ages. So that's the way how you can do that. So between is very important, just to specify boundary. You can specify the boundary, and then you can display the result. That's done. And then the other question is select all from student where first name is not Yosef. Let me just first select all students. Select all from a student. If I execute this one, there is a student name called Yosef, and where I have been asked in here that select all students but not Yosef. How can I exclude Yosef? This is very simple. What you can do is you can use a where clause and then a student first name, not, not is this one, not equal. Okay, this is the operator. The operator not equal is exclamation mark equal, and then Yosef. And then select all these two lines, and then when you execute, Yosef is excluded, all the students are included. If I remove this exclamation, that means I am listing only Yosef. That means select all from students where student name is equal to Yosef. So what you should do when there is a question like this, if you are asked to exclude this, what you should do is select all from students where student name not Yosef. Actually, I will show you when we use in. There is in keyword that we can use. The other question is select distinct sex from students table. That is another question that we should know. How can we have distinct value? Let me just first select all from student. As you can see here, let me execute. You see the sex type is either male or F. I need just to display these two only, and then what is the way? How can we do that? So what you should do is select all from student to display distinct sex. What you should do is use distinct and sex. Distinct is a keyword to list only the distinct value. The repetition will not be there. So when you execute this, only M and F. If you remove out distinct from here and then select, you will see all M and F for all the students. I don't want that. I need only how many sexes do we have. And then what we can do is select all this. The two genders will be coming in there. This is very important to display only, for example, distinct grade for a student course table. For example, look at here, select all from a student course. That's the name of the table. Okay, as you can see here, when I select this, there are two students. They scored AA. Let me just add two more students in this student course table. In this student course table, let me add some more. Like for example, Maths 101 for student 1214. The guy scored B. Okay, let me just see. Say that student is not there. Let me just first select the student information and let me select the ID. The ID number 1216 is the correct one. So 1216 is a guy who scored B. And then Maths 102, 1216 scored C. Maths 102, 12, okay, let me just change this one. Let me select which student is that, 1217. Can add 1217. Now, as you can see here, 1217. As you can see here, Maths 102. Oh, sorry, the course number matters 107. So let me just do Maths 101. Okay, as you can see here, there are two students scoring B and C. There are two students scoring A to A. How can I select distinct grade from student course table? So as you can see here, student course, these are the grade and these are the courses. If I need to know the distinct grade from students, if I select this, as you can see, there are two A, there is one B and one C. So the result will be A, B and C because they are distinct. These are the results. And if you want to know distinct students, that means what are the students that took these courses, you can use distinct value. That's a very important area by which we can identify distinct value. So this is the selecting distinct from student table. The second one that we will see in the next section is aggregate value. How can we select the maximum age from a student? How can we select total number of students? How can we select minimum age? How can we select total number of students taking a given course? So this is a very important question. So aggregate means using mathematical operation. That means sum, minimum, maximum, and average are called aggregate functions. So the first question says select the maximum age. How can we do that? To select the maximum age, simply what you should do is select, there is a keyword max and I need age from student. Okay, before that let me show you the ages of student. These ages are there. Assume that you have thousands and thousands of users or students in your class. How can we know the maximum age? So simply you can use select max age from the student table. 35 is the maximum age. If I change this one to mean, that's the minimum age, I can just select and then I can see 24. What if I would like to know the sum of the age? Simply sum is, the other one is, then you can see sum. And how can we know the total number of students? There is a count keyword, count and then all. That is to know how many students are there. That is count. 9 students are registered. If you see select all from students, let me see how many students are there. 9. So using count means to count, and then max is maximum, mean is minimum. So as I try to explain to you, so you can use sum, and then you can use age, that is sum of the age, and you can use max, and then you can use max age, and then you can use mean to display the minimum age of students. So these are called aggregate function. We will see in depth later on the other separate section. So if you run this one, for example, mean, that's the minimum age, and then this one is max, that's the maximum age. This is the sum of the total the age of students. Actually, it's not a reasonable question, but if you want to know just the sum, for example, if you have a salary table, and then you like to know the total salary that you are paying per month, you can use this sum function. And count is to count how many number of students or number of records you have in your table. So these are the aggregate function. Next time we will see the date value. The date type, the date type is one of the data type that we are putting into the database, and we will see one by one. We will see how can we sort records, and we will see how can we make grouping, and we will see the in keyword, and we will see the between and end plus end and or keywords. We already saw that with 2-3 questions, but we'll see this one in this section in depth. We'll see how can we create alias, and we'll see join operator, and then we'll see union and union on operator. After that, we'll see how can we deal with data definition language, and we'll see how can we alter, drop, insert table, and delete and truncate. Just follow us with the next section. Thank you very much for visiting yayobi.com. This is part 5 of SQL Server Database Administration. Thank you very much.